Hello and good afternoon. I bid to everyone. It is my honor to be the moderator of this event. My name is Angeline and I'm currently a language teacher in SJKC Punyu 2. Today, we are glad to have the privilege to welcome our guest of honor. I would like to invite Mr. Zulkarnain Abdurrahman, the Director of Learning Sector from Johor State Education Department. Jin Tan Xiao Xuan, our guest speaker, teachers and students from various schools. As the representative of my school, I would like to welcome all of you to our program today on the topic, Meet Microalgae, the tiny superheroes saving our planet. Before we get started, I would like to go over a few items so that our program can go on smoothly. First of all, I would like to gladly remind everyone to turn off their microphones to avoid disturbance to the presenter. Besides that, you will have the opportunity to submit questions to our presenter by typing your questions into the comments in YouTube Live or Zoom. You may send your questions at any time during the presentation, and we will collect these and address them at the end of the presentation. Last but not least, this is important. A quiz in the form of Google Form will be administered at the end of the session. Please sign in with the MOE account and complete the quiz by 17 April, 12 midnight. E-certificates will only be
Angeline?
Ladies and gentlemen, our moderator is experiencing some technical glitches at the moment, so I'll be taking over from here until she's able to join us back. Right. Is our moderator back yet? Right, we shall continue.
The requirement of the scores for year 4 to 6 pupils will be 60% and above, whereas as for Form 1 to 3 students, they will need to score 70% and above in the quiz provided. Good luck in answering them. Take note that the form will not be accessible after 12 midnight. As for the teachers, you need to fill in the attendance form using your MOE account, and you may record your attendance manually in Hermes. Before
To begin our webinar, I'd like to invite our respected headmistress, Madam Ramachong Kunha, to deliver her welcoming speech. Please welcome.
Yang berusaha Encik Zulkarnain bin Abdul Rahman, Pengarah Pendidikan Negeri Johor. Yang dihormati Puan Jin Tan Xiao Xuan, Pegawai Ekosistem ATOZCarbonCycle platform. Para pegawai pendidikan, guru-guru besar, guru-guru, ibu bapa serta murid-murid yang dikasihi sekalian. Salam sejahtera dan salam Malaysia Madani. Hari ini, saya amat berbesar hati kerana dapat bersama-sama dalam webinar yang sangat bermakna ini. Terima kasih kepada semua yang telah meluangkan masa untuk hadir dan menjayakan program pada hari ini. Saya juga ingin merakamkan setinggi-tinggi penghargaan kepada semua pihak dan semua yang terlibat atas komitmen dan kerjasama yang diberikan. Hadirin yang dikasihi sekalian, SJKC Venue 2 sentiasa komited dalam memupuk kesedaran tentang kepentingan menjaga alam sekitar. Kami percaya bahawa pendidikan bukan sahaja tentang akademik, tapi juga tentang memupuk sikap dan nilai dalam diri murid. Penganjuran webinar Kenali Mikroalga Wira Kecil Penyelamat planet kita ini merupakan satu inisiatif yang sangat baik. Ini membuka peluang kepada warga sekolah untuk memahami peranan sains, khususnya mikroalga dalam menjaga keseimbangan alam sekitar. Saya berharap para peserta dapat mengikuti sesi ini dengan memberi fokus dan penuh perhatian dan mengamalkan ilmu dalam kehidupan seharian. Semoga program ini menanam kesedaran serta memupuk rasa tanggungjawab dalam menjaga alam sekitar demi kesejahteraan generasi akan datang. Akhir kata, terima kasih atas perhatian. Semoga program ini dapat memberi manfaat kepada semua. Sekian, terima kasih.
Thank you, Madam Rama. Next, it is with great honor to invite Mr. Zulkarnain bin Abdurrahman, the Director of the Johor State Education Department, to officiate the opening ceremony. Please join me in welcoming him.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Yang berusaha Tuan Pengerusi Majlis, barisan pentadbir sekolah, barisan guru-guru pendidikan kelestarian, para peserta yang terdiri daripada murid-murid sekolah rendah dan sekolah menengah negeri Johor, serta hadirin sekalian. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam pendidikan bermutu, insan terdidik negara sejahtera. Terlebih dahulu saya ingin merakamkan setinggi-tinggi tahniah dan syabas kepada pihak penganjur atas inisiatif menganjurkan webinar bertajuk Kenali Mikroalga Wira Kecil Penyelamat planet kita. Tajuk ini amat bertepatan dan signifikan dalam usaha kita memperkukuh pendidikan kelestarian serta membudayakan gaya hidup rendah karbon dalam kalangan warga sekolah. Hadirin yang dihormati sekalian, webinar ini bertujuan untuk menyemai kesedaran tentang peranan mikroalga serta mendedahkan peserta kepada potensi besar organisma hijau mikroskopik ini dalam bidang pertanian, pengurusan sisa makanan dan sistem biologi lain. Mikroalga berupaya menukar sisa kepada sumber berguna, meningkatkan kesihatan tanah, menyokong pengeluaran makanan dan seterusnya mengurangkan pelepasan karbon. Usaha ini selaras dengan keperluan mendesak untuk menangani isu perubahan iklim dan pencemaran alam sekitar. Melalui perkongsian ilmu hari ini, para peserta akan lebih memahami keistimewaan mikroalga dan kepentingannya dalam alam sekitar, khususnya dalam penyerapan karbon dioksida dan pengurangan pencemaran. Diharapkan juga webinar ini menjadi platform bermakna untuk perkongsian sumber dan ilmu pengetahuan antara sekolah-sekolah negeri Johor. Lebih menarik, sesi ini turut mengketengahkan aplikasi mikroalga dalam kehidupan seharian seperti makanan berkhasiat, suplemen kesihatan, farmaceutical dan kosmetik. Hal ini membuktikan bahawa integrasi sains dan alam semula jadi mampu menjana inovasi demi kesejahteraan manusia dan planet. Peserta yang dikasihi, sebagai galakan kepada penyertaan aktif, penganjur turut menyediakan e-sijil penyertaan kepada peserta yang mengikuti webinar sepenuhnya dan berjaya menjawab kuis yang disediakan. Peserta dikehendaki menggunakan akaun delima masing-masing untuk menjawab 20 soalan kuis melalui Google Form dalam tempoh yang ditetapkan, iaitu pada 15 April 2026 hingga 17 April 2026 merakam kehadiran melalui Google Form yang disediakan. Selepas tamat sesi webinar, e-sijil akan dihantar melalui akaun delima daripada peserta yang memenuhi syarat sebelum 30 Jun 2026. Hadirin sekalian, saya juga merakamkan penghargaan kepada SDKC FUNYU 2 yang konsisten memacu agenda kelestarian sehingga diiktiraf sebagai Sekolah Pendidikan Kelestarian Showcase Negeri. Usaha berterusan sekolah ini dalam melaksanakan pelbagai projek kelestarian wajar dijadikan contoh dan inspirasi kepada sekolah-sekolah lain. Sesungguhnya usaha mendidik tentang kelestarian merupakan program jangka panjang yang membawa manfaat besar kepada setiap individu dan alam sekitar. Semoga inisiatif ini dapat diterus dan diperluaskan demi menjayakan pendidikan kelestarian Johor seperti yang disarankan oleh Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Johor. Akhir kata, saya berharap agar webinar ini dapat menyemai kesedaran, mencetuskan minat terhadap sains dan alam sekitar dan melahirkan generasi muda yang lebih peka serta bertanggungjawab terhadap kelestarian bumi. Dengan lafaz Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, saya dengan sukacitanya merasmikan webinar Kenali Mikroalga Wira Penyelamat planet kita. Sekian, terima kasih. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Mr. Zulkarnain, for the opening speech. Our moderator is back, so I'll pass the session over to you, Angeline.
For our next agenda, I would like to invite all of you to turn on your camera for a photo opportunity. Madam Perong, can you help us to take a picture? All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, say cheese. Once more. Ready? 3,
Is that
2,
loud? Wait. Okay. A while.
Okay, once more. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Say cheese.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you everyone for your cooperation, especially our photographer, Madam Perong. Before the presentation begins, allow me to introduce our presenter today. Her name is Jin Tan Xuan. She holds a bachelor degree in food science with nutrition from University Kebangsaan Malaysia and a master's degree in biotechnology with bioentrepreneurship from University Putra Malaysia. With this foundation, Jin brings science, business, and heart together to drive regenerative change on the ground. As Chief Ecosystem Officer of ATOZCarbonCycle platform, she focuses on nature-based innovations that turn microalgae and organic waste into tools for carbon capture, soil regeneration, and community benefit. Jin works closely with farmers, schools, and SMEs, collaborating with partners such as Yayasan Hasana and local universities to co-develop microalgae systems and explore its potential in food innovation and environmental education. Without further ado, Jin Tan, the floor is yours.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? And see my screen?
Yes.
If you're okay. Okay, thank you. So I'm Jean. Hi everyone to all the students, whoever students, and also teachers, and also some of the public. So we are from ATOZCarbonCycle. So a little bit context, introduction about what is ATOZ. So actually we comes from A to Z. So A actually stands for algae, which is our main title today. And to zero, we focus on 4-0. Zero carbon, zero waste, zero hunger, and also zero distance. So a bit special about zero distance is about our distance with our farmers, our distance with corporates who are ESG conscious, and also our distance, like today, our distance with students, our distance with academic institutions. So this is a bit what is ATOZCarbonCycle. So next, I will share a short video so the students can have a look. So what actually ATOZ is doing, okay? So please enjoy. So that is what ATOZ is doing, that whole picture. So now before we start, so actually why we started doing this and how we found out microalgae. At first is because we know now our global got too many carbon emission. And now annually, meaning in a year, there's 36 billion tons carbon dioxide. And what this caused to our environment. So right now you can see the first one. It gives us heat waves, very hot. So last year, even hot, not just unbearable, like you feel like very sticky, but now it's heat until you take lives away. People are dying because of too hot. And not only that, climate change also gives to what? Soil degradation. So when our soil is bad, so we have less food lah. So it will impact our current food ecosystem, which leads to food insecurity. Other than that, right now we also see there's a lot of natural disaster. So we see flooding, then we see like there is like kemarau, which is like too hot. It will cause the loss of food, loss of lives, and also loss of our property. So next, before we start, what is microalgae? So a lot of people will say microalgae actually they are like little seaweed. So they are actually from the same tree, same family. So seaweed, they are actually macroalgae. But today we talk about micro, which is the tiny one. So usually we call them like little seaweeds. So microalgae, they are also known as phytoplankton. So they are single cell, and also they are photosynthetic, and they are aquatic microorganisms. So their size is very small, 0.2 until 200 micromillimeter in the diameter. So what's the size? You can imagine the biggest microalgae, they are still smaller than a tiny grain of salt. So usually we take salt, right? You feel power. The salt, one salt is very small. Microalgae is even smaller than it. Okay? And you also can compare it with your hairs. It's like 300 times smaller than our hair. Okay? So microalgae, they are photosynthetic cells where they conduct photosynthesis, which is like our trees. And also microalgae, they have two types, marine species and also freshwater species. So you can see this is what, when you can see microalgae, this one green algae, you only can see algae when you are under microscope, okay? Because they are too small. So next, the classification of algae. So today, a lot of people ask, algae, is it the algae in blue or the algae in pink or the algae in green? So all of that is correct. We got green algae, we got golden algae, we got red algae, we also got blue-green algae, okay? So right now, whichever that the scientists already discovered is already more than 200,000 species in this, that so far that they already discovered. But there's more than that. So there are more that we haven't discovered yet. So right now we can see it's only 200,000 lah. So next, so a little bit background of microalgae. So microalgae actually is one of the oldest living organism. So imagine 3 billion years, they're already here. Before we have human, there's microalgae. So actually what microalgae does for our nature. So to our Mother Earth, microalgae is contributing as much as 50% to 70% of oxygen. And also microalgae, they can thrive, they can survive at the hardest place on Earth, where like the places that are very cold, very hot, there's also microalgae, different species of microalgae, okay? So from here you can see microalgae, they come with different shape as well. They got round shape, they got some they are spiral, and some they are, you see the shape is like diagonal. So they are all microalgae. So now, where can we find microalgae in real life? So actually, you might see microalgae before, but you may not know them. So first, microalgae, they are in ice area, cold ocean. See with the penguins, so you can see the green spots here, right? They are microalgae. Next, they are also microalgae in forest area. So when we go to forest, right, when you look at the soil, sometimes, and also maybe at the parts of the trees, you see some green one, all that, they are microalgae. Some, they may be macroalgae, okay? Then next, in our natural water, like water, oceans, inside the, oceans. So, okay, one of the questions, have you all think of, in the ocean, we never feed the fish, right? Why the fish will grow bigger and bigger? So actually they grow bigger is because they drink the microalgae in the water. So they become their food. So other than that, microalgae also exists at places that because there's pollution, which is not so good. So they are also in polluted water, where usually you see the lake and the pond. Maybe you at your fish pond, you see a lot of green things, like the one is actually bad. The one is algae bloom. So when we at the nature, the algae, there are actually two types of algae, good algae and also bad algae. So we can say microalgae in our real life, they're actually found everywhere, anywhere, okay? So next, so we want to bring you all together with our microalgae scientist, our Dr. Lim. So this is her at Antarctica. So she's taking microalgae sample at Antarctica. So Antarctica actually is this place where you can see it's like a very cold, largest and also driest and windiest desert on the earth. Even at such an extreme weather, right, you can see there's microalgae growing here. So that's why at different area there's different types of algae. So some of the algae, they can tahan very cold, some of the algae, they can tahan very hot, and some they can tahan very dry, okay? So next. So now I want to focus a little bit more on what's our topic today, and also later we'll touch more, which is green algae, okay? So green microalgae actually is a group of chlorophyll. So chlorophyll is the green things, usually like in our plants, we also will see chlorophyll, okay? So microalgae, they are in green microalgae, they got chlorophyll containing autotrophic algae. And they use light, carbon dioxide, and nutrients to grow, and they produce oxygen and also biomass. So they also store their food. So algae, when they have all this ingredient, right? So they make food. So the food we call starch and also lipid. So inside, you can see inside all this, right? They are their starch, and also the green thing is their starch and also lipids. And also they grow in a super fast growth rate. So usually they're so much faster than our crops, which is the trees lah. So you can imagine trees we need to grow by years, but microalgae we just need days. We need 7 to 14 days, but different species, different timing lah. Okay? So next, how microalgae can fight climate change. So we make into 4 slides. So 4 steps. So first steps we can see right now. We see just now in the beginning global warming, meaning like getting hotter and hotter, right? So where all this carbon emission come from? So you can imagine carbon is the one that usually come from our cars. So cars, there's a lot of black emission, right? So that's actually carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide also come from where? Come from human, come from you and me. And also right now when I'm sharing, I'm breathing also, right? So actually human, we are giving out carbon dioxide and we need oxygen. So carbon also come from human. And next, the carbon come from where? Most of the carbon come from factories. A lot of factories, kilang. No matter the factories, as long the factories, they are doing production, they are generating something, then they need to use energy. So when they use energy, they need to burn. Okay? Then there's all carbon emission. So when we have so many carbon, actually we will make our temperature rise. So when the temperature rise, we will feel hotter. So next, can see here. So when we grow microalgae, so what they need? Like just now I said, 4 things, exactly like the trees. So trees need what? We need sunlight, we need carbon dioxide, we need water, and also we need nutrients. So after they have these 4 requirements, what they will do? They will look exactly like trees. They will do photosynthesis. So we know photosynthesis is a bioconversion. You convert all these ingredients, you make into glucose, which is their food. And also their waste is oxygen, which is what humans need. So next, what happened? So right now, microalgae, when they absorb a lot of carbon, so you can see this green man, actually we name him Buddy, so it's our microalgae. So when they eat a lot of carbon, so the carbon all stored inside the microalgae. So right now, microalgae, the water, the green water, we pour back to the soil. So when we are doing this, actually we put all the carbon back to the soil. We are doing carbon sequestration. So we are saving all the carbon back to the soil. Just now we mentioned, if carbon at our surrounding is very bad, it's pollution. You will feel smelly, feel hot, right? But carbon, actually we need to store at where? We need to store at soil. Because soil is the best place for carbon. It will become their soil nutrients. So when all the carbon back to the soil, we will reduce more carbon dioxide from our surrounding. So you can see number 4. And also microalgae give us more oxygen. So when more oxygen, meaning we can bring down the temperature. We have better air quality, then our temperature is lower, meaning our earth is more healthy. And our soil become healthy, what will happen next? Healthy soil, meaning we got healthy food. Healthy food, meaning our human also can become healthier. And our livelihood can improve. Okay? So next I will go deeper. So this is how actually our microalgae hero fight the climate change. You can see right now, our greenhouse gases emissions, they are not just carbon dioxide, they also got methane, CH4 is methane gas, and also we got nitrogen oxide. So this is the total carbon emission that is caused by all kind of activity. You can see it's coming from electricity, coming from even agriculture, when we are growing plants, we are growing cows and all that, actually there is generating carbon. Even we generating waste, every time we throw to the rubbish bin, right? So that also generating carbon emission. So next, this is a bit scientific. So what actually happened inside the microalgae? So how they run photosynthesis? So here a bit like more scientific lah. So actually they got 2 reactions. They got light dependent reactions, they also got light independent reactions. So both is to convert the water and also the other ingredients back to their nutrients. So we say 1 kg of microalgae cultivated. So how we calculate the weight of microalgae? Just now we say microalgae, they are in water form, right? But actually when they grow faster and faster, two things you will notice. The color become darker. From light green, it will become dark green. If it's for green algae lah, if it's for blue, then it will turn into blue. So today we focus on green. Other than that, you will actually have biomass. So the biomass, you can imagine they are something like paste. So meaning algae, when you filter out all the water, you have the green paste. So imagine 1 kg of green paste, actually you can total, actually we already remove 1.8 kg of carbon dioxide. Okay? So next. So when we just now said, microalgae, they appeared in forests, ocean, wetland, and anywhere, right? So when they appeared at all the places, they are actually doing the wet biomass, they are like carbon sink. Just now we said carbon sequester. They are like a place we store, our storeroom lah, we store a lot of carbon back to there. So anything that absorbs more carbon from the atmosphere than it releases, we call carbon sink. So carbon sink by microalgae, they happen in where? They happen in forests, they happen in ocean, they happen in wetland, they happen in a lot of places. Okay, so next, other than capture carbon, actually what microalgae do in our atmosphere? Actually, they actually use to remove the excess nutrients, such as nitrogen, from the water body. So we know nitrogen is part of the nutrients, but sometimes too much nutrient is not good. Like you can see, from this lake, right, usually is we call the lake that they already got contamination, and also they are called eutrophication. And this is actually caused to harmful algae blooms. You can see all this green, they are algae. But this is the algae that you shouldn't drink, you shouldn't touch, you shouldn't do anything. And we should treat this pond because it's contaminated. So algae is also like bacteria. They are good algae, bad algae. So bacteria, when they are good, we call probiotic, okay? But same goes to algae. We got good and bad. So when you see some of the algae at just now all the places, right? You don't think that, oh, wow, algae must be good. I can collect something back to my house. Cannot, because that one only can be done by microalgae scientists, where they already identify, they know. And also just now our microalgae scientist, Dr. Lim, when they take the sample, they also not using bare hand one. They will have equipments because they need to identify. They also not sure about what's the species. Because just now we know, right, there's 200,000 of species of microalgae. So be careful. But what you can do next time, maybe you can take photo. You can take photo, and then maybe you can take some of the condition of environment. You want to know what is a species, then maybe you can search through online. Okay? So next, microalgae, they can found naturally in so many environments. But usually they are mixed species. So they may not be pure. So they may be inside on the forest, maybe you at the small spots, there is maybe 10 to 20 species. We don't know. Then 10 to 20 species, we're also not sure whether they are good, how many are good, how many are bad. So right now, when we want to use microalgae for specific functions, so we have to grow it pure. At least we want to know what is inside. So right now, what we do is we will grow microalgae in the lab. So this is how our researchers and our scientists in ATOZCarbonCycle, how we grow microalgae. First, you can see so many bottle, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So they are actually the nutrients, the food for algae. We will prepare food first. So next, we will add this food to the algae. You can see they are adding up to the green algae. So at first, of course, when we kickstart, we will already have the seeds. We call inoculum, the algae. So then we give them nutrient, then we slowly grow them. So you can see, we let them grow under the light. So this is also our engineers, our industrial designer, where they design all these apparatus. And the container that we are growing algae, we call it photobioreactor. Why photo? Photo is because we're using light. Okay? Bio is because we are growing biological organism. So next, after we grow, see what our scientists do. Every day we will do checking. We will check under the microscope, we will check under a lot of apparatus in the lab. Okay, so they will check whether the cell is growing good or not. So you can see, we got this algae is round algae, Corella, which is our biggest buddy. And this is another species, Synderdermus. So you can see their shape is different. The shape a bit like chips, right? A lot of chips stacked together. Yeah. So other than that, we got so many other shapes. Okay? So next, this is how it will happen. So from small, then we will grow. We will monitor their growth. As they grow, then we will move to bigger container. So from plastic bottles, then we also goes to a bigger gallon bottles. So this right now, the way we cultivate microalgae got also different types. We can use it like this one where we close in the cube, we call closed system. And you see this one, the pond, a very big pond, the green one. So this is called open pond, it's open air. So what are the main difference from closed system and open system? So of course, closed system, we can control better. Because when we go for productivity, meaning how much we generate, how many microalgae, actually is depending on three things. Depending on the species. So some of the species, maybe they grow faster and some they grow slower. And also depending on their environment. Because some of the algae, they like lights. Some of the algae, they don't like lights. Okay? And also type of cultivation use also very important. So when we are closed system, actually we can cultivate better because we can control like, oh, they don't like so much light, then we can control the light intensity. But for the open one, they are more prone to contamination. Okay? So contamination actually is something that other microorganisms, they come and attack. So then the microalgae, they might need to fight back. If they cannot fight back, then maybe they will die lah. Okay? So this is the composition of microalgae biomass. Just now we say, right, when we filter water, this is the green paste lah. You can see. So they got so many nutrients inside. So macronutrients for microalgae, they got high protein. So different species, they got different. So you see, they got 18% to 65%. And it's so close to our, usually where we get protein. We eat eggs, right? We eat eggs, we drink milk, we also consume soybean. They are our protein source. So algae, actually, they are also source of alternative protein. Then also, algae, they are high in carbo, where they also give energies. Okay? So lipids is the oil content. But right now, we are talking about lipids, we see polyunsaturated fatty acid, like omega-3, omega-6. So all these are lipids that is very good for our human health. Usually, we will eat this as supplement. If your parents got give you to eat before, right, it's a tablet which is round in shape, and it's also when you bite it, right, they got a lot of oil one. So we call very good fats. So actually, microalgae got very large amount of this. And usually, when we want to consume in a good omega-3, 6, 9, right, usually we will eat one type of fish. So the fish, which is called salmon. So salmon and a lot of good fishes, we say they have a lot of good omega-3, 6, 9. So it goes back to the stories a little bit, from the beginning. We said how the fish in the ocean, nobody go and feed them, right? So how they grow. So actually they drink microalgae water. So microalgae, they got a lot of omega-3, 6, 9. That's why when the fish grow bigger and bigger, the fish also got a lot of omega-3, 6, 9, just like our salmon and a lot of other fishes like saba fish. Okay? So other than that, the microalgae, they also got micronutrients, such as like minerals like calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, and they also got a lot of vitamins. And bioactive compounds such as antioxidants. So antioxidants is the vitamin E and also other phenolic compounds. So next, we know microalgae got so many nutrients, right? So what they can do? So microalgae, they can make into animal feed, they can become food additives. Microalgae also can become biodiesel, biofuel. So right now we know that our fuel become the price higher and higher, right? So actually microalgae can also become oil, just that we need to burn a lot of biomass, only we can get a small amount of oil content. Other than that, microalgae can be our cosmetic. They can be masks because they got so many antioxidant and also can be whitening agent as well. And microalgae can be supplements. Other than that, microalgae right now become our functional food, which we put in food. Then when we eat the food, then we can get the health. So this is a product that is in the market and also generated, also created by ATOZCarbonCycle. We call regen water. But this regen water, we are not using it as food. We are not using for human food, but we are using for plants food. So next, I will explain more. So a little bit context. So this is what happening in our farm in Malaysia. You can see our land is very dry and pH value is very low. When pH very low, it means what? Very acidic. So when we say the one meaning like our tanah, our soil is very sour. When it's sour, it's actually not good for a lot of crops. So the crops can't grow better. So you can see the crops is like very bad. So when it's hard to grow, and even right now our fertilizer also increasing. So and the yield become lower and lower. So the soil you can see become weaker and degraded. So what happens to us? We will mostly eat a lot of expensive food. Okay? So next, other than that, we also got a lot of waste that happen, a lot of burning. All these contribute to carbon emission. Very bad for environment. So when you adhere, right, you will most likely cough and your human health also will get affected. And also you can see all this one, right, they are actually agricultural waste and actually very smelly. Okay? So this is a bit context on what is we call dead soil at the left-hand side. Unhealthy soil looks like. So unhealthy soil looks like, it will look like a very light color usually. So this is because of what? Intensive tillage. Tillage means is we will actually till the soil. So before the farmers, they want to grow, they actually will till. Because usually they do this is because the soil is very hard, right? Then the seeds is very hard to plant inside and very hard for the roots to penetrate. So they will till. But over tillage actually will release a lot of good things inside the soil. And next, also overuse of chemical fertilizer. A lot of chemicals is very bad. So, and also it will reduce, it will kill a lot of microbes inside the soil. That's why our organic matters getting lesser and lesser. And all the carbon, just now we say we save carbon back to soil, right? By right, soil got a lot of carbon. But when we till, we use so many chemical, the carbon all released back to our environment. Back to environment goes to what? Pollution. Though very smelly. Sometimes when you go some of the farm, right, you say, why this smell a bit weird one, a bit like very unpleasant. So actually that is maybe because some of the emission from the chemical inputs. Okay? And also we see what? Soil compact, very hard. And just now we say, when soil hard, right, very hard to absorb water. And also right now, one of the reasons why so easy rain heavily for like few hours, then suddenly flooding. Why? Because our soil, one of the reasons, soil is getting harder, it's very hard to absorb water, so there is so many runoff. So no matter you are putting nutrients, putting water inside the soil, it will actually 60 to 70% it will run away. So it also, when you are using chemicals, then the chemicals will run to our river, will run to our ocean, then it will further contaminate our river, further contaminate our water source. And now we go to this right hand side, what our healthy soil looks like. You can see darker in color, right? So darker in color soil, when if you have the chances, you can, when you see dark soil, right, maybe you can take some at your hand, you try to feel it. You will feel healthy soil, the darker in color, and you will feel a bit wet, damp. Okay? So why they are a bit damp? Actually, it's because inside there are so many lives. We say their soil biodiversity is good. There's so many microorganisms inside it, and also their organic matter is better, and they can retain more water. That's why you feel a bit wet. And also, they are dark in color is because they got higher carbon content. We call soil organic carbon. soil carbon content, SOC, soil organic carbon, and also soil organic matters. And then when these two content is very high, you will see they are dark in color, and also the soil is very loose, and when you touch it, it's not so hard. A bit like you can still shape it. But the dark soil, I mean the unhealthy soil, is just like very powdery. Okay? So next, when we grow trees, right, a little bit context. So how we grow trees? Trees, they also need sunlight and they need carbon dioxide, right? Other than that, inside from the soil, they're actually getting a lot of other micronutrients and also macronutrients. But you can see the basic structure elements of plants actually is come from carbon, hydrogen, and also oxygen. And their macronutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and also potassium. So you can see the main thing is they need more carbon so that they can convert more food. And this is how the conversion from using the trees. So they are very similar to microalgae. So they also will convert back to glucose, and also which is their food, which is starch lah. Okay, so this is from vegetative growth until reproductive growth, and also flowering and fruits. All we require carbon dioxide. So next, this is how ATOZ we grow microalgae. Just now we see there is open pond, there is also closed system, right? So in ATOZCarbonCycle, we grow in these square cubes. We call MAX system, microalgae cultivation system. We call it MAX in ATOZ lah, a special one. So we designed this based on 3 elements. Portable. Portable meaning today I can put here, tomorrow I can shift to another places. So it can be movable, very portable. Next is economical. So because we are preparing these solutions for a lot of usage, that's why we need to make sure the cost is not so high. So with our MAX system, we actually be giving this, when we compare to normal cultivation, like just now you see the one in the lab, the one in the very nice column, actually is 5 times more cost efficient. And scalable. Scalable meaning we can duplicate the same system in many other places. Okay? So next, this is more in detail. So this is our MAX system in one of the university. So it's in University Putra, Malaysia. So at the demo site. So actually it's very, if you all gone, you all visit Farm Fresh before, right? Actually it's just beside Farm Fresh. So our system is over there integrating with solar panel. So this one is a bit special, it's self-sufficient MAX system. We prepare this solar panel powered system is because some of the places like at the very inland, at the farm, right, very far away, usually sometimes they don't have electricity. So right now, when we integrate solar panels, at these kind of places, we also can make our MAX system work. And also this tank, actually is a very simple materials, where we use recycled materials also. So some of the factories, food factories, they actually use this to store the food syrup. So right now, we reuse it to grow microalgae. And we make it portable is because we want to reduce the land use. So we can save more places. So one of this cube, right, actually is not very big. You can imagine it's like a bit like this, 1 meter. So it's 1 meter times 1 meter times 1 meter, which is 1 meter cube. Okay? So imagine 1 cube, the capacity is 1,000 liter. But of course, we will save some space. We cannot do it full. So we will grow at 800 liters every cube. So next, today I will focus more on the application of microalgae to use in soil. Just now we got see can make into food, human food, make into supplements, all that, right? But this one is what happens when it goes back to the soil. So first, goes back to the soil, it actually provides nutrients to the plants, just like our fertilizer lah, but we don't call it fertilizer. We call microalgae, when go to soil, they are soil regenerative agent. So in Malay, we are called pemulihan tanah. Okay? And also in Chinese, we call it 再生, 土壤再生. Okay? So when, most important, first they do like fertilizer, they give nutrients. But most important thing, you can go see the third point. Then they go to the soil, they become the food for other microorganisms. Because microalgae is so tiny, right? So small. The microorganism is even bigger than them. They can eat microalgae as their food. So when there is food inside the soil, then the microbes can all come back. They will go back to the soil that there is microalgae. They go inside and eat. Then this microbes is very good for the soil. Because right now we want to bring life back to the soil. Because without life in the soil, we call it dead soil. Now we want to make our soil be alive again. So when the soil is alive, so many microbes inside, right? They also need to breathe. They are living organisms. So when they breathe, they will improve the soil structure. Just now we say, very hard the soil. Now all the microbes go inside. Breathe. Then it will actually break the structure, then it becomes loose. When the soil is loose, then they can absorb more water, they can absorb more nutrients, and the roots of the plants also can penetrate better. Then the plants can absorb more nutrients through the roots, then they can grow bigger, and our foods also can be bigger and better, the yield. So other than that, when microalgae, just now we say, they save carbon right to the soil. So here, carbon sequestration. They increase soil organic carbon, meaning they will increase the fertility of the soil. When fertility is higher, meaning the soil is more fertile, then we can grow more fruits. More fruits meaning the farmers will be more happy because they can sell more food to us, right? Then they can earn more. Then when they have more food to sell to us, meaning the price also can be more reasonable. Okay, so next. This is how our carbon cycle works. So when we grow a lot of microalgae at our MAC system, we will get microalgae water, and we can get microalgae biomass, the wet paste, and also we make into extraction powder. So it contributes to our agriculture. Even poultry, the chicken, they can drink microalgae as nutrient water. And also, just now, microalgae paste we can make into fish feed that we feed to the fishes. And with that, we have so many low carbon food. We got regenerative chicken, regenerative fish, regenerative vegetables. And after that, we will have a lot of food waste, right, after eat. So later, we also will introduce you about BSF. But what is BSF, right? So later, I will explain more. Okay? So this is how microalgae will also unlock our sustainable landscape. So basically, we design, at first, we come from only max tank, the cubes one, where we actually use in the bigger scale and we use at farm. Not so aesthetic-wise, not so nice to see. So now we unlock exterior and also interior purification. So we call it Verde series. So you can see this Verde bench, so they are in cylinder already. So right now algae, the photobioreactor, we integrate with our furniture. So you can see we make into bench, we make into decorative lamp that you can put in outdoor, and also can put in house, put in office. And this is Verde tree. But we will design based on the demands. So maybe we want to put at shopping mall, then we will design a different shape. So this one, a bit, let you all know whether you all have seen this before. This is drone. So right now we know drone tech, we can bring a lot of things. Sometimes we can send blood samples. We also can use drone. And drone, we also can use it for filming, to take photos, then to take the higher view. And right now we are using drone to actually bring microalgae and use drone to spray algae on top of paddies. Because previously, it's very hard for us to spray microalgae on paddy because we know paddy is very muddy. So right now, we work with also local company, also local tech, hybrid drone, where this drone, they not only use electricity, they actually use petrol. So with that, actually, we can save a lot of time. And also, because we know some of the batteries, we need every 15 minutes, they need to charge. So right now, we're using drone to bring the algae and spray on top of the land. So this is some of the microalgae where you can see. From the max tank, we grow a lot of microalgae. They absorb a lot of carbon dioxide and give better air quality for the residents. So this is in one of the places in Eco World. So if any of you live nearby, right, yeah, then you actually can go and see lah. And also after they grow a lot of microalgae water, so the algae water actually we spray to the trees. So you can see these trees, when 4 weeks before we spray microalgae and also do soil drench, right, they are like botak, don't have any leaves. So even they put so many fertilizer and they are still not so in the very good shape and also good look. So you see after 4 weeks of microalgae water applied, so the plants turn green again. You can see there's more, the leaves goes bigger, and also the trees, and they become more healthy lah. And this is the happens in our eco farm where we grow these vegetables 100% with microalgae water. So you can see the leaves is even bigger than our members' face. So, and this is all the fruits, the vegetables that empowered by microalgae. So right now with microalgae, we are unlocking a lot of healthy, low carbon food. So as long the crops, they are growing on the soil, then we can empower it. Because we are using microalgae to feed the soil, instead of we feed the plant directly. Happy soil, happy plant. And this is the birdie, where right now you can see maybe at some of the places, at some of the shopping mall, you can see a lot of green tubes, right? Or you happen to in GMBB, which is near to Lalaport, you see green tubes, you will actually, that is microalgae, okay? So this is happened in one of the hospital, the park in hospital. So we have our microalgae there. We are actually building a microalgae team ESG landscape park. So that park is not just let people to rest, it actually gives you better air quality. And after that, the microalgae water grow, and until it matured, we will use the water to water back to the plants here and make the plants be healthier. And this is also our birthday series in some of the malls, some of the exhibition hall. And also right now, we are also having this in office. And this is the IoT system, the dashboard to showcase the growth of the microalgae, whether they are good, and when we're going to harvest it. Because without harvest, actually microalgae, they will die also, okay? And this is other places where we also have microalgae. And also right now, we also have algae in one of the buggy stop in Setia Alam. So next time you all can travel there, it's actually at Eco Ardens. So you all can go there and have a look lah. During night time, this is what it will glow in the dark. So just now we say, right, actually the LED light actually is one to mimic the sunlight. So right now our microalgae in Atos, with the LED light, we make them work 24 hours lah. So unlike trees during night time, they will compete oxygen with us, right? But our microalgae won't do it lah, because of the system we design. So this is also other form of microalgae, and we also use the photobioreactor, made into wishing trees for some of the art exhibitions, and also some of the exhibition that we make, let people to write down their wishes on the trees. And also we've been did this as a art, also use it for Christmas tree. And this is a smaller version where we use it for house, but right now it's still at prototype stage. So when we launch, we will actually, it's a natural air purifier, and it will actually serve few purpose. It not just purify your air, make your air cleaner, but it also give you oxygen. So this is a bit different from other purifying machine in the market lah. And also after you harvest the water, you can pour it to your houseplant, make your houseplant better, and also you can save some cost because you can reduce your fertilizer. So next, I will go in a bit. Just now we focus more on climate change and how we reduce carbon dioxide. Now, just now we also mentioned, other than the pollution is contributed by carbon dioxide, it also contributed by methane gas, which is this CH4. So what is methane gas? So methane gas actually is from our organic waste. So imagine when we have leftover food, right? You cannot finish the food. You put at your kitchen. Or maybe your bread that you bring to school, you forgot to eat, you just put at your drawer. Then after few weeks time, what happened? Or maybe few days, you will feel very smelly, right? The food. So the smelly the gases actually is methane. And methane is 25 to 28 times worse than carbon dioxide. And right now in 1 year, there is 936 million tons of food wasted in a year. And still, we are experiencing world hunger. So if all this food waste can convert into better things, maybe we can help to reduce the hunger rate. So now I want to introduce to you another soldier, other than a bit, not microalgae, but the friend of microalgae, black soldier fly. So black soldier fly is an insect that they can convert a lot of organic food waste. So it's not a pest and they don't bite. Because black soldier fly, they don't have teeth. They are harmless and they are eco-friendly. And they also, like our algae, 24 hours, they are not sleeping. 24 hours, they will wiggle. So you can see in the video, right? See, they keep moving, wiggle. This actually helps them to have better digestion rate. They can eat more food waste and they also generate heat to protect themselves. And when their digestive rate is higher, then they can convert more food waste. So right now we turn the food waste into resources. So this is the secret of black soldier fly. They don't have teeth, right? Then how they actually eat? So their secret weapon is at their saliva. So their saliva, there's a lot of good enzyme. They will break down the food and they also will reduce the odor. And also reduce the harmful pathogens and make into nutrients. And after that, they will turn into protein. So this is the five life stages of black soldier fly. They from egg, they turn into larvae, and they will turn into pupae. This dark brown color one is pupae. Pupae, which is something like, a bit like butterfly, right? Before butterfly, they have wings, right? They are pupae, which they are not blooming one. They hibernate. So hibernate, after that, they will wait for their time to become fly. So we call it adult stage. So this is the 5 main stage of black soldier fly. So this is what we are helping the farmers. We teach the farmers to grow black soldier fly by using their farm waste. So this is one of collaboration we do with Secret Recipe. So with Secret Recipe, some of you may eat before, right? Their Secret Recipe got a lot of good, delicious cake. So what happened in Secret Recipe is, other than even we don't waste the cake, right? We finish a whole cake, but there's still food waste. There's still food waste at the factory because they want to have nice looking cake, right? They will trim. So all this bread trim, cake trim, they are still very good. They are still have nutrients. So if we throw to the dustbin, to the landfill, it will generate methane and it will become waste. But now we give to our black soldier. They will eat, they turn into protein source. And this protein source we can feed to what? We can feed to our cats, feed to our doggies, we can feed to chicken, feed to fish, feed to ducks. They are very good protein source. We call it sustainable protein feed. Other than that, when they keep eating, they also will have poops. Okay? So they keep eating, right, 24 hours, then they have a lot of poops. So these poops, we call it frass. So this frass right now, the farmers is using it as fertilizer. We call it a very good biofertilizer, where we also, just like microalgae together, we use back to the soil and help with the soil water retention and also resistance to disease, and also promote plant growth. When we have the larvae, what we do? You can see the larvae still wiggle on my hand. So without processing it, actually we can straight away give to our fishes. So right now in ATOZ, we are actually combining microalgae and also black soldier fly together as this aquaculture feed. So you can imagine black soldier fly larvae, they are like our proteins, bigger protein source. They are like our meat. Then microalgae is like our vegetables. So with that, we can have balanced diet for our chicken and also for our fish and for our duck. So right now we are also doing experiment with University Putra UPM, which is the academic institution, so that to check, after eating black soldier fly, the tilapia, the fish, how is the growth? So we already done the experiment that we found out that it can be replace the commercial pellets. So commercial pellets is usually the food that we need to import from overseas for our fish. So right now we are looking at using these solutions to help with our local farmers. They can reduce their costs to maybe not, previously maybe they need to buy import feed, maybe 100 kg. Maybe right now they only buy 70. So they can reduce 30%. So next, this is a system where we call this AMES system. So AMES stands for ATOZ Modular Eco-Fusion System. So they are two combined. So where you can see, we have one is this container. We call it Black Soldier Fly Biotransformer. So what happens inside is the whole life cycle of the black soldier fly breeding, from egg to larvae, from larvae to pupae, from pupae to fly. 5 life stages will happen inside this container. Meaning all the food waste, like the food waste in canteen, the food waste in hospital, the food waste in restaurant, the food waste in a lot of factories, right? All that we can give to our black soldier fly biotransformer, and it will convert into the larvae and also into the thrust, which is very useful back to our farmers. And coming together with our MAC system, so it will come with one module, which is 10 tanks. So what this MAC system will do together with this biotransformer in the schools. So right now we actually have this system in one of the primary school in KL, Ampang. So what happens in the school is, usually you go to canteen, right, eat. Sometimes you will throw some of the maybe banana peel, maybe your leftover rice, sometimes you cannot finish. Then all this, what we cannot finish, we can give to our natural's best cleaner, our best hero, our natural's hero, which is black soldier fly. Then, like human, we will give a lot of carbon dioxide, right? Then it becomes food for our MAC system, to our microalgae. Then microalgae give oxygen. Then the air quality inside the school will become better. Okay? So this is what happened inside our MAC system. You can see. We collect a lot of, like you see, got breads, got a lot of, this is the vegetables from the pasar, from the places that they cannot sell, then they will give to us lah. Then we will convert, and this, you see a lot of tray, right? Actually, this is a black soldier fly apartment. Even some rotten fruits, it also can use it after we will process lah, then become the food for black soldier fly. And this is some of the awareness that we actually did. We are not only we go to primary schools, secondary schools, and also university to run STEM program to teach. So this one is a program that we're also giving out microalgae biscuit to let the kids, they can understand and also they can taste the microalgae food. Other than that, we also go to secondary school, and we also run some exhibition to let them understand, and they can also site visit our places in UPM and also comes to our experience store. And also we have this planting kit, so we grow succulents. So combining using the frass from the black soldier fly and also microalgae water after the microalgae absorb a lot of carbon dioxide. So this is the event that we run for the orphanage house. And this is the community project where we teach the farmers to grow black soldier fly so that they can convert more waste in their farm. And also the waste in the restaurant nearby, they will go and collect lah. So the restaurant, instead of previously they have to throw all to the dustbin, then the dustbin go to landfill, right? And right now, all become the food for our soldier, which is BSF. And also, we have this kit to actually let the public to understand, they can bring this black soldier fly house to their house later, meaning after you have leftover, then you can feed to the black soldier fly. So instead of you throw all to the dustbin, right now we also can do it a bit different. And right now, this is one of the programs that we are working with the farmers in Skenchan. So in Skenchan, we know, if you know that place, Skenchan is a place that full with a lot of agriculture, where there we have guava farmers, we have paddy farmers, we have chiku farmers, we also have jagung farmers, we have vegetables farmers. Right now, we are working with all the farmers together under this Yayasan Hasana project. So we will grow, this one you can see, grow in the dark, right? A lot of cubes. Inside is all microalgae. So they are absorbing the carbon dioxide from the surrounding, then they turn greener and greener, then give out oxygen. Then when the algae is matured, we will take it out. Then we will go to all these farmers' places, give them to spray and also to pour back to their soil. So the soil, which is help us to grow food. So we can get healthy jagung, and we also found out that the jagung becomes sweeter, and we also can get sweeter grapes. So this is what the Farmer Empowering Project, it can be done by using microalgae. Okay. So other than that, this is one of the projects we work together with Taylor University. So Taylor University, they also have this food science department. So food science department is a place that they will innovate and also come out a lot of new products. So right now you can see the burger, right? Usually the burger, the bread is brown color, right? So you see this burger is so special. It's green in color, blue-green, because they integrate microalgae inside the bread dough. So you can see we got microalgae mini burgers, we got microalgae baggers. And this is not only tasty, it also gives us better health. Because just now we know microalgae, they are superfood. They got so many good micronutrients inside it. So with that, we are also giving the chances to our future food scientists. They can be more creative. So right now it's only burgers. So in future, maybe we come out microalgae pudding, and what are the food that you all like? Maybe microalgae, actually in our cafe, we got microalgae tiramisu, a lot of things lah. So they can come out. So other than that, right now microalgae, we make also animal feed. Just now we said algae can feed to our fur baby, right? To our, maybe some of you all have pets like sugar glider, or you have pets like your hamster, and also maybe you have some reptiles at your house, you have lizards, and also some you have doggies, you have cats. They can feed on this forever. So forever actually is the animal feed that we have this collaboration with Taylor. So they do formulation. So they mix the microalgae and also black soldier fly and also other ingredients to also cater to the nutrients of the animals. So after that, we call it a premium pet food. So that time we also showcase at one of the booth and let the fur babies to come and try. Okay. But of course, what the reason we made into this, actually you look into it, right? The shape of this forever, they are in a lot of, some is in bone shape, some is in very cute little pile shapes. This is because when we feed the larvae, right, to the cats, right? The cats don't eat because they were scared. Because all this while the cats, they eat canned food, they eat pellets, right? So that's why we have to make into formula and also make it tastier and the shape nicer, so our fur babies, they will enjoy better lah. Okay. So other than that, this is also microalgae food innovations, where we make microalgae honey boba. So a lot of y'all maybe your favorite is boba milk tea, right? So the boba is the things that we can munch, the circle thing, right? So right now, we also use microalgae to make into it. So when you munch on it, you will have a taste of sweetness, and also you will have some crunchy, because inside the boba we mix microalgae. So microalgae we turn into extraction powder. When you bite on it, it's actually a bit crunchy, like that. So it will give you more texture. So this boba is very special. It gives you sweetness and it gives you crunchiness. So if you have chances, you also can. But this one we haven't delivered yet lah. We only happen during workshops. So this is where we located. So actually we located in few places. We started in Kedah, Sik Kedah. This is our eco farm. So in our eco farm, we got very big microalgae farm, all glow in the dark green color. Then we also got chicken, our fish, and also our ducks there. So they can try, they can eat at the beginning because we just started, right? We cannot straight away give to the farmers. So we tried ourselves. So we give to our own chicken, give to our own fish. Then we try it out, okay, we come out the whole project, the whole case study, only we give to the farmers and explain to the farmers. Then the second place we have is actually our R&D site, Research and Development Center in UPM. Just now the system lah. Then the next one, actually we right now also have our regenerative base, a very nice place. Also right now, also a lot of people go there for tourists, right? For tourism. So it's an agro-tourism place. So we are also helping out with the 80 farmers over there. And new places also where I located. So this is where I located is in our experience store in KL, Kuala Lumpur, Bukit Bintang. So we also have our experience store going to launch next month. So later we can invite you all to come. You can have a look, and also you can learn sustainability because we will actually exhibit microalgae and also black soldier fly there. And right beside it, this is the closer look of our experience store. So we also integrate with new technology, which is AR, artificial reality, where we can play games over there. Then this is right beside our experience store, which is Algae Eats. So from the name you know lah, so this is the cafe that we are under ATOZCarbonCycle. So it's a downstream application where just now the microalgae we make into extraction powder, then we integrate with all kind of food. Algae ice cream, this is algae tiramisu. Then we got algae big breakfast, we got algae sandwich, algae waffle, and also algae lime beverage. So this pot is a pot that you can eat. So that time we actually coming out, this is a pot where small plants that you can grow, right? This is you can grow with using microalgae water. Then this is a tiramisu pot that you can eat because what we put inside is microalgae extraction powder where we already process it, so make it safe for human consumption. So we call this as a sustainable and also low carbon food brand. So other than that, we also provide microalgae, festive gift sets, and also catering. You can see we got algae tarts, we got algae pesto pasta, then we also got algae mooncake, algae Chinese New Year biscuits. And also the fruits here, we are using the fruits that they grow using microalgae water from the farm. So we got microalgae guava, we got microalgae mango, we also got microalgae. Like right now we are unlocking more fruits. So since we have a bit more time, I will play another video to walk you through all the places we have in ATOZCarbonCycle. Just now the 4 places. So can enjoy. This Earth Month, ATOZ invites you to rediscover how we sustain life, eat, and care for the planet. Through the RECO program, our Regenerative Agriculture Carbon Offsetting Initiative, we are driving a farming transformation across Malaysia by educating and empowering farmers to adopt Earth Month, ATOZ invites you to rediscover how we sustain life, eat, and care for the planet. Through the RECO program, our Regenerative Agriculture Carbon Offsetting Initiative, we are driving a farming transformation across Malaysia by educating and empowering farmers to adopt climate-smart, regenerative practices, we are turning everyday agriculture into a powerful engine for carbon sequestration and climate action, maximizing both carbon revenue and positive impact from the fields to the entire community. Algae is a sustainable low-carbon food brand by the ATOZCarbonCycle platform, offering innovative, healthy and delicious meals crafted with algae-based ingredients and algae-supported crops sourced from regenerative farmers. We empower the public to embrace a tasty, healthy and sustainable lifestyle. Soon, we will be expanding our reach by launching on food delivery platforms, making it even easier for everyone to enjoy sustainable eating anytime, anywhere. Introducing the ATOZCarbonCycle marketplace, where waste turns into wealth for the earth. From food cycle compost that nurtures soil, to our regen microalgae water, soil regenerative agent, and finally to algae-based crops grown by empowered local farmers. It's a full circle ecosystem. AMES, ATOZ Modular Eco-Fusion System, transforming organic waste through the complete black soldier fly life cycle, and microalgae cultivation system carbon capture tanks, improving air quality, reducing pollution, turning waste into resources, boosting farmers' use, empowering communities, and driving sustainable education through smart regenerative solutions. Tune in to our podcast collaboration, real stories from real change makers who are building a greener tomorrow together. Meet the ATOZ Buddy, our passionate youth ambassador at the ATOZCarbonCycle platform, here to spark joy, curiosity, and action. They are on a mission to show that science isn't boring and that embracing low-carbon initiatives can be fun, meaningful, and impactful. Their first mission? An exciting collaboration with EcoWorld, tackling real-world waste with real-world solutions, bringing sustainability into life one project at a time. Through the Waste Management Biotransformer, we turn waste into sustainable resources because real change starts with action. Backed by science, powered by simple steps, everyone can be part of the transformation. In Skinjan, we built our second satellite center eco-farm, combining microalgae farming, black soldier fly bioconversion and regenerative paddy and vegetable farming, mimicking natural with biotechnology to build resilient farms, balance ecosystem and showcase sustainable solutions to farmers, corporates and stakeholders. Ready to make a real difference? Join the cycle, join the movement, change with us. Create impact beyond profit, empower businesses, transforming futures. One vision, a zero carbon future, and it starts with you.
So thank you. So basically this is what ATOZCarbonCycle we are talking about. So from this cycle, we are actually promoting circular economy concept, and also we started from these two ways. So what we want to tackle is very simple: waste, food waste and also carbon dioxide, where we are tackling two global issues, climate change and also food insecurity. So we are recycling this, turning these two waste into resources by using, one is microalgae cultivation system, our tool called biotech. First one is microalgae, the second one is black soldier fly breeding system. So with that, we are empowering across different industry, agriculture, aquaculture, poultry, composting, and also directly impact our F&B chain. And also we unlocking natural air purifiers, and also we are generating like supplements and also skincare products. And all this, we call it low carbon products. So no matter their food, their fish, their products, so if it goes to public use, which is you and me lah. After we use, we will of course generate back the waste, and with the waste, we are also turning back. So this is how it goes rounds and rounds through this cycle. We call carbon cycle because we want to turn carbon, which is usually known as waste, into resources, and we impact back to our human lives. So this is what ATOZCarbonCycle is. We are a biotech company and we are promoting 2 natural-based farming green solutions. So this is, let you all see again, microalgae and also black soldier fly. So they work together hand in hand and also saving our planet. So what we want to do, utilize the waste, restore the ecology, which is a natural ecosystem, and empowering farmers, empowering communities, which is everyone. So once again, I'm Jean. So I'm the food scientist and also biotechnologist, and also I'm Chief Ecosystem Officer in ATOZCarbonCycle. So if you have any other questions and you want to connect with me, so you can take a photos and also you can scan. And if you would like to know more about ATOZCarbonCycle, because we actually are in a lot of social medias, you can scan this, you can take a photos. We are in Instagram. So in Instagram, you can search ATOZCarbonCycle. So that's our main account. And if you want to know more about microalgae food, then you can type algae eats. So when you click, you can see at the bio. And also we have in YouTube channel. I go back again. So we are in YouTube channel, we're also in TikTok. And also if you want to learn about microalgae and also sustainability in a more fun way, we also have another account which is called Atos Buddies. So after today, hopefully all of you can become our buddies. Because right now, even you are here, you are actually considered our buddies already. So say hi to our buddies. This is microalgae, Corella. That's why they are round in shapes. So hopefully we can see you in person. Maybe if you are in KL, come and visit us and also come and say hi to Buddy. So I think that's all from me today. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop at, I think we are at YouTube live stream. So you can drop your question there and also let the teachers know. Okay? So I pass back the floor to our organizer. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Jin Tan, for an inspiring and yet informative speech. We are now going to answer your questions. As a reminder, you can still submit the questions through the comments in the chat box. Our first question is, how does algae help to purify the air?
Okay, thanks for the questions. So yeah, how does microalgae purify the air? Because carbon dioxide is their food. So they actually works exactly like trees. So usually trees, when we plant the big trees, right? So without we seeing, actually the carbon dioxide is absorbed by the trees. So same thing happens in the water when we grow microalgae. So the gases from the surrounding, when you see how we grow microalgae, we will bubble it up. So we will take whichever from the surrounding goes to the microalgae, then they will take up their food. Usually they will take up carbon dioxide, and then they will need sunlight. That's why you can see behind me the green tube is glowing because we are giving them LED light. Because I'm now in indoor, so we're giving them LED light as the sunlight sources. So with water, with sunlight, with carbon dioxide, and also with nutrients, they will keep growing. So while they are growing, they are constantly absorb carbon dioxide. And this is how actually microalgae purify the air. And right now we will see some of the products, we call it natural air purifier. They try to actually competing with HEPA filter, because a lot of air purifier, they are purifying the air. But right now we call this biofilter, because microalgae, they are natural things. Then after they filter the air, the microalgae give oxygen, because oxygen is their waste. So hopefully I answer the questions.
Yeah. Okay, our second question is, are microalgae considered as plants?
They are phytoplankton. So yes, they are plants. They are plants in the water.
Okay. The next question, what is the difference between using conventional air filters and microalgae for air purification?
Yeah, I think from the last question, I've answered this question. So a bit different is microalgae, they are using biological organism. That's why we call biofilter. So the normal air purification or air purifier in the market, they are using HEPA filters. But usually the HEPA filters, they only can filter, the polluted air goes in, the clean air goes out. Then that's all right. Then for this natural air purifier, which empowered by microalgae, it actually happened three things. One is the clean air the polluted air goes in, the microalgae will take only carbon dioxide, then they give out oxygens. So the different thing is it also generate oxygen, give better air quality. Then the microalgae that they already absorb a lot of carbon, right? They will turn greener and greener. So we will harvest the microalgae water to fulfill the third purpose, which they can goes to our plants. So goes to our plants, then make our plants grow better and also reduce the fertilizer usage.
All right, the next question. What benefits does eating microalgae bring to human beings?
So usually we know microalgae as supplements, right? So different species of microalgae, they got different health functions. Like usually the more common one is, usually when they eat, people eat is the spirulina, blue-green algae. So the one people also eat, some is for a protein source and some for health. Then chlorella, then you also can search. They got different health benefits. Some is for antioxidant and also some for beauty and some for skin self-repair. Yeah, so this is some of the health benefits of microalgae.
Right. Okay, right. Is using microalgae costly?
Yes, depending on where you use also, and also how you cultivate. So microalgae, they're known as high value added product because the cost we cultivate them actually is very high. But depending on what cultivation system we are talking about, just now when we say there is open pond and also closed system. So closed system, usually when at lab, right, we go in the column and all that, actually it will cost a bit high. It's because of the apparatus and also the time and also the environment that we need to control. So I can say cultivation of microalgae is costly, but that's why right now the way we want to use microalgae, we're using it in an ecosystem. Instead of we just make into products, we have to make it empower every chain of it. So like just now the cycle we are talking about, yes. This is how we want to prove, cost efficiency.
Okay, thank you. The next question is, how can school promote awareness of microalgae in farming?
Farming?
Yes.
Is it?
From
how can
the
school?
School, yes.
Yes, I think if the schools you have, usually school also you have trees, right? Some of the school, some they may even have mini garden and they grow some of the plants and some of the vegetables over there. I think it's a very great opportunity. We can integrate microalgae, meaning we use microalgae as a soil regenerative agent. I think this is the most straightforward and simple move. And of course, by doing that, we need microalgae. So actually you can reach out to ATOZCarbonCycle for some of this initiative because we hope, because right now we are building a lot of the Verde series, meaning we are doing this natural air purification at office, natural air purification at the park. So if there is schools nearby that they are interested in this, we hope the microalgae water can go to the school and empower the soil there and also the plants there. So this is how the direct way it can direct impact to schools and also in terms of farming.
All right, our final question is, how can microalgae help solve soil pollution problems?
Soil pollution problem, yes. Just now we got shown, right, there's unhealthy soil. So unhealthy soil actually most likely is the soil that they got polluted and also they are degraded. So when they are degraded, usually it's because there's a lot of too many chemical inputs. So maybe they are compact due to chemicals and also lack of organic matters, meaning we say lack of life and the soil is dead. So what microalgae can help is, microalgae goes inside the water we're saying the water go inside. Then just now we say microalgae is the food. They are the primary food source in the food chain, you can imagine the food chain is like that, right? So microalgae is the smallest one. So when the smallest one, meaning all the microorganism, good microbes, bad microbes, they can feed on microalgae. So when microalgae goes back to the soil, then the microbes maybe from the surrounding, they are starving, right? Then they see food inside the soil. Then they will go to the soil because they want to eat microalgae. So when the microorganism back to the soil, they also will need to breathe, right? So the microbes will eat another microbes. So when after they eating the microbes die, then other microbes will come to eat the microbes as well. So we were adding more lives, more biodiversity back to the soil. So when the soil is alive back with a lot of lives, then the organic matter will increase. Organic matter increase, the carbon content also increase, because all the living organisms, they are made of carbon, carbon content. So when the carbon content increase, then the soil become more fertile and darker in color. That's why we say the soil become healthier. With healthier soil, then we can grow more vegetables, more fruits, more rice like paddy. Yes.
Thank you. I think that is all for our Q&A session for today. If you have any questions that we didn't manage to get today, please do comment and contact us. We will post a recording of this program on YouTube after the end of this program. Once again, I would like to thank Jean Tan for taking her time to speak to our students about the microalgae. A reminder once again, please use MOE account to answer the quiz by 17 April, 12 midnight. As for the teachers, please fill up your Google form. On behalf of SGGC Funyu 2, we would like to thank all of you once again for joining us today, and have a great rest of your day. Take care and stay safe, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Welcome.